She texted, working late at the office meeting. Don't wait for me. I replied, hope you and Jake from accounting nail that presentation. Then a sharp shift to intense disbelief. You know that feeling when your entire world shifts under your feet in an instant? That gut-wrenching realization that everything you thought was real was a carefully constructed lie? Well, imagine getting a seemingly innocent text from your wife, late at night, and in just 20 minutes, your whole future crumbles. It was a Wednesday, exactly 4:47 p.m. My phone buzzed. It was my wife, working late to prep for the office conference. Don't wait up tonight. I just stared at it. A conference? In 8 years of marriage, she'd never once mentioned a conference. My wife was the type who'd complain about mandatory meetings for weeks in advance, but here she was, dropping this bomb like it was nothing. And the timing? Totally off. We had our regular Wednesday Chinese takeout dinner planned, nothing fancy, just our routine. She knew I looked forward to it, but apparently, this mysterious conference was more important than keeping me in the loop. I leaned back in my office chair, reading the message again. The tone was different. Usually, her texts were filled with chatty details, who said what, how boring everything was. This one? Cold. Distant. Like she was informing a roommate, not her husband. And it clicked. For the past 3 weeks, she'd been acting strange. Coming home later, taking phone calls in the other room, vague answers about her day. And then there was Jake. Jake from accounting. She'd mentioned him more times in the last month than she'd mentioned her own boss in a year. Jake thinks the new system is inefficient. Jake suggested a better way to handle the reports. Jake has such funny stories about his weekend. Jake. A cold not formed in my stomach. I decided to test a theory. My fingers flew across the screen. Hope you and Jake from accounting enjoy the presentation. I hit send. The response? Immediate. Not like she was typing when she saw it, but like she was already holding her phone, waiting for my reply. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. You could almost feel the panic radiating through the screen. Then my phone rang. She never called during work hours. Hey, honey, her voice was higher than usual strained. Just got your text. Why would you mention Jake? Isn't he at the conference too? You talk about him enough. Figured he'd be there. Silence. Then a nervous, forced laugh. Oh, well, yes, I mean, maybe. It's a big conference, lots of people from different departments. I wouldn't know who all is attending. Interesting, just yesterday, she told me Jake was working on a special project with her department. Today, she suddenly didn't know if he'd be at their conference? What's the conference about again? I asked, my voice flat, almost too calm. More silence. It's about new compliance procedures. Very boring stuff, you know how these corporate things are. Oh, I knew exactly how these corporate things were. And I also knew her company's fiscal calendar. They never scheduled major conferences in the middle of the quarter. Too busy with actual work. Sounds exciting, I said dryly. What, until 11? And then networking afterward? Networking until midnight on a Wednesday? Your boss is really pushing the team hard these days. Well, you know how it is in our industry. Actually, I didn't know, because I worked in the same industry, at a competing firm, and we'd never held a compliance conference that went past 7 p.m., let alone past midnight. I'll let you get back to your conference, I said, a strange calm washing over me. Drive safe. I hung up. It was 5:03 p.m. If this conference was so important and time-sensitive, why was she able to take a 10-minute phone call to discuss Jake from accounting? My gut was screaming everything I needed to know. Watch the full story on my channel, link below. You won't believe what happened next.